Welcome to Highway Herald, your roadmap to the latest in auto. Today, we're diving into the recent turbulence in the EV market that has left Ford in a tough spot. Ford, a titan of the automotive industry, has found itself in a precarious position after betting big on electric vehicles, EVs. CEO Jim Farley envisioned a future where EVs would dominate the roads, but reality had other plans. Let's buckle up and explore why Ford is grappling with its most significant EV crisis to date, and it's only the beginning. Reason number 8, the EV hype train stalls. A few years ago, the consensus was that EVs were the future and everyone would soon own one. However, the American consumer proved more discerning. They're cautious with their hard-earned money and have grown increasingly aware of the limitations of EVs. The infrastructure for EVs leaves much to be desired, and battery life is a persistent concern. This is particularly true for trucks like the F-150 Lightning. Add some weight to these trucks, and their range takes a hit, rendering them impractical for towing and heavy loads. The hefty price tag of the Lightning didn't help either, leading to dwindling interest among potential buyers. Despite slashing prices, Ford has struggled to make the Lightning appealing. In fact, Ford only managed to sell 39% of its inventory in the first month, a stark contrast to the 70% sold in the same period last year. The performance limitations of the truck remain a significant barrier for those who rely on their vehicles for heavy-duty tasks. The Mach-E faces similar challenges, with buyers often opting for different models. Reason number 7, Ford's tough decisions. In October 2023, Ford was faced with a difficult decision. To stave off bankruptcy, they had to let go of approximately 700 employees who were part of the Ford F-150 Lightning production lines at their Rouge Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn, Michigan. The production of the Lightning was subsequently reduced from 3 shifts to 2. If the sales of EVs don't see an improvement, it's anticipated that further layoffs may be on the horizon. While job loss is a harsh reality, it's sometimes a necessary step for companies like Ford to avoid substantial financial losses due to overproduction. On a positive note, these skilled workers are in high demand in the auto industry. Competitors are always on the lookout for experienced personnel, so these workers are likely to find new employment opportunities. In today's job market, having skills can open doors, making job hunting less daunting than it used to be. Reason number 6, Ford's $4.5 billion hurdle. In the world of EVs, Ford's journey has been a bumpy ride. The automotive giant suffered a staggering loss of $4.5 billion in 2023 alone on electric cars. This figure is a significant leap from their $2.1 billion loss in 2022, and it's clear that the financial burden is mounting. Ford had projected a loss of around $3 billion for 2023, but the actual loss exceeded this estimate by $1.5 billion. This financial downturn isn't solely due to sluggish sales. It's also a result of Ford's substantial investments in the EV sector, including the development of electric powertrains and batteries. Despite these setbacks, Ford's CEO remains optimistic about the future of EVs, stating, "The near-term pace of EV adoption will be a little slower than expected." However, the market tells a different story. The general public is not as enthusiastic about electric cars as anticipated. If Ford continues to push for an EV-dominated future, they risk bankruptcy, a fate that Ford, along with Tesla, has managed to avoid among U.S. automakers. But with their conventional models still generating substantial profits, Ford's CEO seems determined to continue investing in his vision for electric vehicles. Reason number 5, Ford pulls back on $12 billion EV investment. As consumers become more discerning about their investments, EVs are not topping the list of desirable purchases. This shift in consumer behavior led Ford to scale back their investment in EVs. This was a $12 billion investment plan, encompassing significant advancements in EV technology and a large factory for EV batteries, slated to be located in Kentucky. Ford has now delayed this investment, and given the lackluster demand for their EVs, it's unlikely they'll proceed unless they're willing to risk bankruptcy and billions in losses. It seems Ford may need to pivot and invest in creating hybrid vehicles or EREV models, much like Ram's approach with its new Ram Charger. This model uses the internal combustion engine as a generator of electricity, effectively addressing one of the F-150 Lightning's major issues, battery drain under heavy load. Only time will tell what the future holds for Ford in the ever-evolving landscape of the auto industry. Reason number 4, Ford's EVs, a tough sell. As we've previously highlighted, Ford's EVs are accumulating on dealer lots nationwide. These vehicles are spending more time on the lot before finding a buyer than any other Ford model. Ford's production capacity is outstripping demand, leaving dealers with an oversupply of vehicles. To put it into perspective, dealers sold around 87% of their Mach-E inventory within 30 days in 2022, compared to just 27.7% in the same period in 2023. The F-150 Lightning is facing an even tougher market. In 2022, 70% of the F-150 Lightning models were sold within 30 days, but in 2023, this figure dropped to 39%. This situation is a nightmare for Ford. They need to reconsider their production strategy to avoid further financial losses. If they continue to produce these EVs at the current rate, they risk losing more money. The current market trends suggest that Ford should halt the production of these vehicles until demand picks up. Reason number 3, dealers push back against EVs. Dealers across the country are expressing their dissatisfaction with Ford's EVs. One dealer voiced his frustration, stating that Ford's miscalculations have led to an unprecedented surplus of unsold Lightnings and Mach-E models. Ford allocates vehicles to its dealers based on market demands and dealer needs. However, dealers have accused Ford of violating franchise laws over the allocation of EVs. Another dealer revealed that they had to decline the allocation of both F-150 Lightning and Mach-E models due to the lack of demand. Dealers nationwide are frustrated with Ford's handling of the growing number of unsold EVs. They believe that Ford needs to reassess its production strategy to align with the current market demand. Reason number 2, rising labor costs impact Ford's bottom line. You may be aware of the United Auto Workers strike, which called for a substantial hike in labor-related costs. This has significantly impacted Ford, as the increased labor demands have led to a rise in production expenses. This situation has affected Ford's profitability, as higher wages have inflated the overall cost of EV production. As per the contract agreed upon between Ford and the workers, the company anticipates that labor costs alone will add between $850 and $900 to the price of each vehicle. While this might not seem significant, it's another blow to Ford in its current crisis. Ford needs to manage its finances carefully to avoid going under. Reason number 1, Ford slashes F-150 Lightning prices. In response to dwindling demand and lackluster buyer interest, Ford made the drastic decision to slash the price of their F-150 Lightning by nearly $10,000. In October, the price plummeted from $59,974 to $49,995, a significant discount aimed at clearing out their Lightning inventory despite the financial loss on these vehicles. As the crisis deepens, industry insiders predict further price cuts in 2024, potentially bringing the cost of a new Lightning down to as low as $45,000. The road ahead for Ford appears challenging, with the situation likely to worsen if they continue to produce these EVs. That's all for today's deep dive into the world of Ford and their EV journey. Don't forget to subscribe to Highway Herald to stay updated on the latest vehicle updates and upcoming videos. Drive safe and stay passionate, fellow auto enthusiasts.